Quick note, this video uses AI-assisted production, and the voice you're hearing is AI-supported too. Most people who hurt their cat are not being cruel. They're repeating normal habits that make a cat feel trapped. And because cats hide discomfort so well, those habits can look harmless until you get hiding, swatting, or avoidance. So here are 5 common things that quietly hurt cats, plus what your cat is probably feeling instead. This isn't about guilt. It's about catching the pattern earlier so your cat feels safer, calmer, and easier to live with. First, forcing affection. Petting, hugging, or picking up a cat after they've already started opting out. To a cat, that doesn't feel loving. It feels like losing control over their own body and space. The warning signs are usually small: tail flicks, skin twitching, ears rotating, head turns, stiff paws, or leaving. A huge owner mistake is getting one good purr, then turning that into a long handling session. Or the cat walks away, and we follow for one more pet, one more squeeze, one more pickup. A better rule is this: if the cat moves away, pauses, or stiffens, you stop immediately. Use a consent test. Pet briefly, then pause. If your cat leans back in, continue. If not, respect it. The same goes for pickup, grooming, carriers, even kisses. Choice builds tolerance. Pressure builds resistance. When you protect consent, affection stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling predictable. That's what builds trust. I saw this with a cat named Luna. Her owner thought she got randomly mean every night on the couch. But Luna wasn't random. She was giving early signals that looked easy to miss until they finally weren't. That leads to the second mistake: ignoring stress signals because the cat isn't making a big scene. Cats often whisper before they shout. They freeze, overgroom, turn away, crouch lower, or scan the room. Some cats don't get louder when stressed. They get quieter, slower, and harder to read. Owners mistake that for calm. And sometimes what looks behavioral is partly physical. Sudden irritability or touch sensitivity can involve pain. So if behavior changes fast, gets intense, or shows up around touch, movement, or the litter box, take it seriously. For the rest, start tracking patterns. What happened before, what your cat's body looked like, and what stopped it. That tells you whether the issue is fear, frustration, overstimulation, conflict, or simple environmental pressure. With Luna, the couch wasn't the problem. Her owner kept petting through the tail flick, then the head turn. Luna had been saying, "I'm done," with her body long before she used her claws. And when owners miss those signals, they often make the next mistake, trying to correct the reaction. That means yelling, squirting water, tapping the cat, or scolding after scratching, biting, or jumping. Punishment may interrupt the moment, but it usually doesn't solve the reason the behavior happened in the first place. Worse, it can teach your cat that you are unpredictable, especially when they're already stressed or over threshold. The better move is management plus redirection. Change the setup, give a better outlet, then reward what you want. So if your cat scratches the couch, don't just punish it. Put a better scratching surface exactly where the problem happens. Because the need to scratch, stretch, and leave scent doesn't disappear just because you got upset about it. Same with counter-jumping or ankle attacks. If you only suppress the moment, the motivation is still there. Give the cat a legal version of the behavior. Better scratchers, better climbing spots, better places to land. If your cat ambushes your feet at night, look at play, arousal, and timing before you call it bad attitude. And if the reaction shows up during handling, rebuild consent and predictability instead of overpowering the response. So the goal isn't to punish the symptom, it's to lower pressure and make the right behavior easier. And that brings us to mistake number 4, because sometimes the real problem is the whole daily pattern. Fourth, making life feel too unpredictable. Cats do better when the world around them makes sense. Predictability matters because it lowers vigilance. Your cat doesn't have to keep guessing what happens next. One day the cat is allowed on the bed, The next day, they're shoved off. That's confusing, not instructive. One person respects space. Another keeps grabbing for affection. Your cat ends up managing people, not relaxing around them. Or the carrier only appears before something stressful. So the carrier itself starts predicting danger. Feeding times swing all over the place, attention comes randomly, and the whole day feels harder to read. In multi-cat homes, resources that are too close together can keep the quieter cat in a constant state of caution. The owners call that difficult behavior. But from the cat's side, it can feel crowded, inconsistent, or socially tense. What helps is making the basics more readable. Steadier routines, steadier access, and steadier expectations. Give your cat safe access to litter, food, water, scratching areas, vertical space, and more than one good resting spot. Use consistent cues around handling, and let your cat approach more often instead of always being approached. When daily life feels readable, your cat spends less energy bracing for the next surprise. And once that foundation is missing, the fifth mistake becomes even easier to make. Fifth, not meeting your cat's species-typical needs. A lot of bad behavior starts right there. A lot of indoor cats are not being difficult. They're understimulated, under-challenged, and carrying unused hunting energy. Cats need to stalk, chase, pounce, climb, scratch, scan, and solve little problems with their environment. That's why enrichment is not extra. It is basic behavior support, especially for indoor cats. Short interactive play helps. Even a few focused minutes can release energy and make the evening feel easier. Food puzzles help. Rotating toy types helps. Safe window access can help more than owners expect. So do scratching options, climbing choices, and little foraging moments that let the cat work for something. Without those outlets, energy and frustration usually spill into the behaviors owners complain about most. Zoomies, ankle attacks, shelf diving, constant mowing, nighttime chaos. A lot of that starts with an empty day. An empty day doesn't mean your cat did nothing wrong. It means their brain and body had nowhere useful to go. That's why problems often explode when you finally want peace. Late evening, bedtime, or the moment you sit down. A short play session before those problem windows can change the whole emotional tone of the evening. But good play isn't just waving a toy in your cat's face until they get annoyed or overstimulated. Better play looks more like prey. Hide, dart, pause, escape, then finally let your cat catch something. That sense of completion matters. It helps the cat come down instead of staying revved up and frustrated. When cats have better outlets, you often get less conflict, less clingy frustration, and a more settled relationship. And that's the bigger pattern. Cats struggle when they lose choice, clarity, predictability, or healthy outlets. Most harm is not dramatic. It's repeated little moments where the cat keeps losing comfort and control. Then owners say the cat became moody, distant, or hard to read, when really the cat has just been carrying more load. Once you fix those foundations, cats often seem more affectionate, calmer, and easier because they're less burdened. And Luna is a good example of that because her owner didn't need a harsher correction. She needed a better pattern. Nina stopped treating couch time like automatic cuddle time. That alone removed a lot of pressure. She started pausing for consent and ending petting at the first clear "I'm done" signal. And before settling down for the night, she added a short wand play session to take the edge off. The swatting faded, not because Luna finally learned manners, but because she felt heard, safer, and better regulated. That's the shift. Better behavior often comes from reducing burden, not increasing force. So here's the reset I want you to remember this week, especially if your cat has felt harder lately. First, stop forcing affection. If your cat wants contact, let that contact keep its element of choice. Second, stop waiting for a dramatic reaction. Notice the small stress signals before your cat has to escalate. Third, don't punish the reaction while ignoring the reason. Change the setup and teach a better option. Fourth, make daily life easier to read. More consistency means less vigilance and less emotional wear. Fifth, don't expect a calm cat from an empty day. Play, foraging, climbing, and scratching all count. Before you react this week, ask yourself one thing first. What is my cat probably feeling right now? Then ask, what need is underneath this? Safety, space, predictability, or a better outlet? Then ask the most useful question. How can I change the setup so my cat can succeed without pressure? Those questions will improve your training, your relationship, and your cat's emotional safety faster than force ever will. Because the goal is not just fewer problems. It's a cat who feels more secure living with you every day. And if this helped, the best follow-up is learning the stress signals cats show before they hiss, swat, or hide. Because once you can spot those signs earlier, a lot of cat behavior starts making sense much sooner. You catch discomfort earlier, change the pattern sooner, and your cat doesn't have to keep escalating to be understood. That's really the shift. Your cat usually doesn't need more control from you. They need better understanding from you. So this week, try observing for 2 extra seconds before you react. That pause can change everything. Watch the face, the ears, the tail, the body tension, and whether your cat is moving towards you or away. That one habit alone will help you force less, miss less, and understand more. So the next video should be the early stress signals cats show before a hiss, swat, bite, or retreat. Because once you can see those signals clearly, you can prevent a lot of conflict before it even starts. The more clearly you read your cat, the more safely your cat can live with you.